You're listening to One Sweet Wrestling Podcast.
One Sweet Wrestling Podcast.
With your host, Beto Barragan.
And we all know that when the good Lord created man, he meant for him to look just like me.
And Alex Lewicki.
The tower of power, too sweet to be sour. I'm funky like a monkey. Sky's the limit and space is the place.
The podcast made by fans for wrestling fans.
One sweet, one sweet, one sweet, one sweet.
You're listening to One Sweet Wrestling Podcast. Yes, this is One Sweet Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Beto Barragan, and with me, as always, the Wrestling Wikipedia,
Alex Lewicki.
What's going on, dude?
Whole lot of nothing, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling terrible. Word to the wise, if you live in Texas, if you live in Texas, just make sure that you have all your allergy medications and everything, like taken care of. Menudo, pozole, all that good stuff. And if you are visiting from outside of Texas, either stay or don't stay too long, because you will definitely inherit the allergies. It's fact. Look it up. Seriously. You have that, right?
Oh yeah, man. When I moved from California,
Yeah.
it was all bad.
Yeah, see, if you leave Texas and you go somewhere else to live or whatever, you're screwed. Like, that's it. Like, you will have, these allergies will follow you forever. Well, let me say this. You can go somewhere where the allergies aren't bad and you'll like breathe fine. Like, when I went to California, I was like, oh man, I can breathe. Everything's like clear. It was awesome. I came back, allergies were worse. So it's kind of like if you leave for a long period of time, you come back, it gets bad. It just gets really bad on you.
Yeah, it's you have to do like in Pulp Fiction. Once you're gone, you stay gone.
You stay gone, exactly. All right, well, look, a lot of stuff has been going on with pro wrestling, a lot of internet, a lot of hoopla, if you will. You like that Popeye reference? Remember that? Hoopla. Okay, let's just kick it off with the headline.
In news that I'm sure everybody around the world could have predicted a year ago, Roman Reigns won the Elimination Chamber this past Sunday.
The Chamber, exactly. No one, I don't think anyone did not see this coming. I think everyone kind of was just like waiting for this to happen.
It's been in the cards for a full year, and now that it's been implemented, it's a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, the Chamber match was entertaining, though.
It was, but
It wasn't brutal. It wasn't brutal enough.
It took too long to get hot. About halfway through, it was kind of like, okay, Braun got in, and then everybody kind of started getting hit.
Yeah.
I will say The Miz, great. My only thing that I didn't like was that whole the yes kicks.
Oh, yeah.
He just took too long, man.
Well, where are you going with it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If WWE is not going to release, or WWE is not going to allow Daniel Bryan to wrestle, what's the point of doing him anymore? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so with that being said, now the main event for WrestleMania has been set.
Yes.
Brock Lesnar against Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Fun.
Again.
I guess. Yeah.
Again. Now, do you see any swerves happening?
No, man. I think this is just going to be straight. I don't think there's any swerves. I think they're going to try to make this as entertaining as possible. I'd love to. I'm looking forward to seeing Paul Heyman cut vicious promos on Roman Reigns once again, and just going for the jugular at this point.
Now, I will say this Elimination Chamber was a bit, I don't know, on the 2 out of 5 stars for me.
Okay,
but the women's chamber match,
it impressed me.
It came out with a good storyline.
Yeah, sure did.
Okay, quick recap.
Yeah,
Alexa Bliss won. I don't think anybody
Yeah.
she was. Yeah, great, awesome. The big story coming out of this is Sasha Banks finally turned on Bayley.
Yeah, that was interesting when they climbed up at the top of one of the pods and Sasha kicks Bayley off the pod amidst of chasing Alexa Bliss, which was a great heel move by Alexa Bliss. I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
You know who Sasha Banks looked like
Who did she look like?
in that moment when she kicked off Bayley? Scar from The Lion King.
Yeah.
So
Pretty vicious.
I could see this being a WrestleMania match.
Bayley versus Sasha?
It'd be a good way to rehash their characters, especially Bayley. I think she's been in this weird no man's land with her character. She
Right.
just isn't connecting. She's been there for 2+ years and she's just not really doing much.
Bayley to me is almost like the underdog character in this match or in anything as of late, but like they haven't really honed in on that yet.
She's turned into the female Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
She had a hot run in NXT, then when she got called up to the main roster, it just didn't work for her.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty typical of NXT though. I mean, if NXT wrestlers that come from NXT to the main roster, you kind of lose your fire after you've been in NXT. I don't know.
Yeah, it's sad times.
Yeah.
However, big news coming out of WrestleMania, or going into WrestleMania, I should say. Brock Lesnar might not be with the WWE after WrestleMania.
So they're saying that he may go back to UFC.
So a picture was posted minutes after the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view started
Okay.
with Brock Lesnar taking a picture with Dana White at the UFC headquarters
Okay.
in Las Vegas, the same place that was taking place for the Elimination Chamber. Reports are Brock Lesnar was not in the building for the Elimination Chamber, and talks are that there are negotiations for a contract with the UFC.
Does he have to be in the building? Does it matter?
I think the bigger story is, does he leave after WrestleMania? Because
Yeah.
I hear that his contract is up with the WWE shortly after WrestleMania. There's no indeterminate time of what date it is, but he's definitely on the way out, I believe.
I'm going to throw this out there, and this is probably just the massive amounts of allergy medication that I've been taking, so everyone's going to probably hate on me. Like, good on Brock Lesnar for leaving WWE and going to UFC. Honestly, like, does he really need to be in the WWE anymore?
He's not really there anymore.
Exactly.
So-
He's making a paycheck, bro. He walks in for like, what, 5, maybe 6 appearances for WWE, and then just says, all right, cool. I made my money. I'm going to go ahead and just chill for a little while. I mean, here's my thing. What good is Brock Lesnar without the title?
He just becomes another bruiser.
That's it.
You can't put him in a tag team.
Oh.
You can't put him as an IC champion.
It's very unbelievable that he is an underdog going for the WWE title even then. Like, can he get a rematch clause? Yeah, he gets a rematch clause. That's cool. But does he really necessarily like have to be without the title? He needs that title to be a force to be reckoned with in the WWE. Now, moving to UFC, better for him financially, financially I would say yes, better for him. Health-wise, I don't necessarily agree with the situation, but who's to say that the deal with Dana White could be a one-off for the UFC? He has his fight, and that's it. He rides off into the sunset. He's made his money.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see what's going to happen. I have mixed emotions about this. I like to see him fight, but also what I really want to see is if Brock Lesnar does decide, hey, I'm out of here, I'm going to go to the UFC full time, what did they do with Paul Heyman? Who do they pair him up with?
Put him with Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I would like to see that, but
It makes sense.
It does.
In a like take a step back, look at the big picture. Who else is there for Paul Heyman to be paired up with? Ronda's probably your best point. I mean,
she needs the most help on the mic for sure.
Yes. Did you hear her talking at Elimination Chamber? Of course, she's a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Okay. She knows what goes into being a professional wrestler, for being a fan. Like we're talking here. We're saying you gotta go. You gotta be able to go, and you've got to be able to work the mic. Two big key elements that intertwine with each other that have to be done. If you can't do, like, I mean, look, it's like who was not a great promo, but a phenomenal wrestler?
Kurt Angle.
Okay, Kurt Angle, not a great promo, good butt end of the joke, but damn it, he's the best wrestler that came out of WWE. Like, just cold turkey from being an Olympic gold medalist to going to the WWE and learning that quickly. I mean,
you know who could use Paul Heyman? And just, I was going through the roster in my mind as you were talking. Who needs it the most right now besides Ronda Rousey? Bray Wyatt. Only because his promos as of lately have just been nonsensical.
But Bray's character is his nonsensical speeches. Like, it's very cryptic and it's very like, what do we say? Not somber. What's it like? Ghostly.
My whole thing with him is when you hear him talk, it's like hearing a homeless man talk. It's just gibberish to me.
Let's just have Paul Heyman make the Heyman family.
That'd be the smartest move.
Why not?
If he had 4 people, oh my God.
Sheamus and Cesaro as your tag team.
Braun Strowman.
Who would be the 4th guy?
Well, I think in that you would need a light heavyweight, so maybe Dean Ambrose.
Okay.
I think he needs a reboot, and what better way than to have him just be like a Mr. Perfect.
Okay.
He'll go for the IC title.
Yeah,
He's just kind of
yeah.
the all-around wrestler, kind of, the guy that can wrestle, because Seth Rollins doesn't need him.
Yeah, no.
Who else could be up in there?
Surprisingly enough, I don't know why, but I would put him with The Miz.
That's a strong move. You know who else I would like for him to get paired up with?
Who's that?
He doesn't need help.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens.
That would be interesting.
It'd be
prize
like,
fighter.
You know what it is? Him and Kevin Owens would be like Bobby Heenan and Ric Flair.
Oh, yeah.
They both know how to talk. They're both extremely entertaining, and they both can work off of each other.
Yeah.
So you get them together. You get Sami Zayn as kind of the Virgil almost.
Okay.
That can.
The Virgil? Sami Zayn is the Virgil?
You know what I mean, though. He's kind of like the sidekick that just kind of he
Yeah.
can wrestle. It's a bad analogy, but he's the first guy I can think of. He just needs to be attached to Kevin Owens, it seems like.
Yeah, yeah.
Without him, he's just kind of floundering around.
Right.
So I would like to see that. A stable for Paul Heyman would make the most sense.
I could see that. But speaking of stables, Bullet Club news, the Young Bucks are moving up to heavyweight tag team division.
When I first heard
Japan.
about this, I was skeptical. I thought, okay, this is just for, for being the elite.
Right.
They're
marketing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a marketing ploy. When I really sit back and think what type of matches they can have with the tag teams in the heavyweight division, first name that pops into my head is Sonata and Evil from the Los Ingonables.
Oh, right, right.
Great wrestlers. I think they would pair well with them. War Machine.
Well, War Machine's moving over to NXT now, weren't they?
Oh, crap. You're right. I forgot about that. Who else is in
So
there?
that spot opened up for them to move in there naturally.
Yes. Yeah. God, who else is there? There's, the obvious and who they're going to be wrestling in Long Beach.
Right.
The Golden Lovers.
Yeah. Kenny Omega and
Kota Ibushi.
yeah.
I'm not really hyped on the match. I don't know what it is. It just seems like I'm excited, but it's all me.
It's like a world tour for Kenny Omega to go wrestle all the Bullet Club in a sense.
Yeah.
Like you already had the match with Marty and Cody, and next thing you know, now it's the Bucks, and then what? What are they going to do? God?
Probably.
And then you could see God against the Young Bucks at some point down the road.
That could be a good match.
I mean, there's a lot of possibilities with them going heavyweight in the heavyweight tag team division. definitely believe it's going to open a lot more doors.
Yeah, I'm more excited to see him. I'm excited to see the Young Bucks wrestle outside of the Golden Lovers.
Right.
Because I think they have the ability to put on a good match with any team, and especially with, for some reason, small wrestlers, and I'm not saying that they're small, but
Right.
Smaller wrestlers against natural heavyweights tends to be a good match.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm excited to see what's going to happen after March.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Very interesting.
Speaking of
Tag team matches?
tag team matches and potential WrestleMania tag team matches,
Yeah.
and somebody we just spoke about,
Right.
Ronda Rousey.
And Kurt Angle
Yeah.
against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon.
How do you feel about it?
Ah.
I know you're not a big Ronda Rousey fan.
Okay, here's the thing. For all you people that are listening out there and thinking like, oh, man, Bethel's a jerk. Like, why doesn't he like Ronda Rousey? I'm okay with Ronda Rousey. Hey, I like the Expendables 3. I like watching her fight. The thing is that Ronda Rousey in WWE right now, she's just green. She didn't do well on the mic at her Elimination Chamber. Yeah, that was a cute little spot with her throwing Triple H into the table. That was a nice little setup. I just sound like I'm bashing her, but I'm really not. It's just that I know that this is like a celebrity-esque type thing because Ronda Rousey is now a household name. It's just like getting Brock in WWE, except Brock is not really much of a celebrity. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but Brock was a wrestler before he went to the UFC.
Right.
Just like
Well, Ronda was a what, judo champion?
she was a judo gold medalist.
Judo gold medalist.
Yes.
Okay. So she has
Gold or bronze? I can't remember. She medaled in judo.
the girl's got credentials. I'm not going to knock that. But the WWE is a whole different animal. And a lot of people will say, and of course I dare say the word, wrestling is fake. It's not fake. It's predetermined, Alex. But I'm going to say this, is that it's a whole different ball game when you're competing in this type of arena, in this type of element. You have to be able to sell to the crowd. And I don't see her doing that well. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just don't see her selling that well to a WWE audience. However, I think it's a smart move to a point to put her with Kurt Angle because they're already building and they're pushing the building blocks for that. Kurt Angle, as I said earlier, was one of those guys that came into WWE and didn't know anything, extremely green for the world of professional wrestling. But what ended up happening was he became a champion and one of the greatest greatest in history. Pair Ronda with him, very good mentor and someone to actually get her over and into the mix with the rest of the roster.
My whole thing with Ronda Rousey is the WWE kind of painted themselves in a corner. You can't have, especially she's also painted herself in a corner. Her wrestling debut is going to take place at the biggest pay-per-view for wrestling.
Yeah.
Now,
She has to show up.
the thing is, the WWE can't let her have practice matches at Raw, SmackDown, a smaller pay-per-view, because then what's the allure of having her wrestle?
Well, is she practicing at the Performance Center?
Yeah, but I mean, we as viewers
Yeah.
aren't going to know what she's capable of until WrestleMania.
Oh, it's either sink or swim at that
Exactly.
point.
And
Baptism by fire.
That's exactly where I'm going with this. Now, I know Triple H and Stephanie are going to carry her through the match.
Yes.
And I'm sure Kurt Angle is going to probably take the brunt of the match.
Yeah.
Which is also scary for me because he's also getting, he's still got that neck injury to contend with. But yeah, I hope she does well. But my thing is, what's going to happen after WrestleMania? They have to have a storyline for her afterwards, and they can't continue this Stephanie thing. So from what I'm hearing is she's supposed to break the record. I'm sorry, not break the record. Break the streak of Asuka.
No.
That's what I keep hearing.
Why?
Because she's Ronda Rousey.
But
It doesn't make sense. Beto, think of it this way.
Yeah.
You and I both know this doesn't make sense. It
No.
doesn't make sense for Roman Reigns to win the Elimination Chamber and go to WrestleMania. But guess what?
It's happening.
It's happening
Whether we like it or not.
because we're obviously not paying the bills for WWE.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
I like that. I like that.
I will say, this match I'm not super hyped on for WrestleMania. Also, another match that's being tossed around the rumor mill for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Especially because going back to the Elimination Chamber, John Cena obviously did not win.
Yeah,
and that was
no reason to be in that match. Anyway, go ahead.
That was going to be his one way in.
Right.
He's now rumored to be paired with Rey Mysterio Jr. I'm
shaking my head.
This was reported.
You can't see this, but I'm shaking my head.
This was reported by Sports Illustrated that talks with Rey Mysterio are due to be finished by this week to get him ready for WrestleMania. I don't see the allure to this.
Who cares? Who cares, man? I mean, I love Rey Mysterio. Who doesn't love Rey Mysterio? But at the end of the day, do I really want to pay money to go see Rey Mysterio? I mean, look, I'm going to watch it regardless.
Sure.
But am I going to want to go pay money to go see Rey Mysterio versus John Cena? We've seen it before, and we weren't impressed by it.
This is a good match, not for WrestleMania.
Yeah, of course.
You can throw this at SummerSlam, Survivor Series.
This is not a WrestleMania caliber match.
No.
If you really wanted to shock people and have something of a great match, I mean, Cena versus Taker is the obvious choice.
What they should do, and the way they can tie everything up, and I completely agree. When I heard him say, "Hey, I want to challenge The Undertaker,"
yeah,
the crowd went nuts, and then he dropped the bomb.
Oh yeah,
that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
If it were to happen, and there's always a probability that there's a swerve coming,
Never say never.
there needs to be a career versus career match.
Oh hell yeah!
It would. Taker's got nothing left to prove.
Nope.
This would be the culmination of him going, you know what? I'll drop
I'll drop the gimmick to, that's it.
And they always say, you go out on your back.
Right. Yeah.
You go out on your back. You lose in the same arena that the streak was broken.
Right.
And that's where you go off.
Does it mean anything, though? At this point, does it mean anything? 2 losses at WrestleMania.
The streak, not so much. The streak doesn't matter. It's the fact that
it's
if we see him wrestle one more time.
Who would it be? Who's better? Who's the best person to do it against?
Especially if they say this is a career versus career. So there's already that's
a big stipulation.
There's that little thing in the back of your mind that goes, we know he's probably going to lose, but who knows?
Yeah. What if he wins and then says, cool, I ended John Cena's career and I'm going to go out too later.
Yeah.
It could happen.
It could, but I would like to see him. John Cena for me lately has become. I'm appreciating him more.
Yeah.
I guess.
I feel like he's finally putting people over. Not him himself. I mean, there's a back and forth that Cena is this like glass ceiling that won't break.
Okay.
But I feel like as of late, like with the U.S. title open challenge that he had, I guess like last year, a couple of years ago.
Yep.
From that point on, he's really changed his career to be the guy that says, hey, look, I'm going to put all these guys over.
Well, I think also he was doing moves that I'd never seen him do before. And that really opened my eyes to going like, wow, what I like to see is when a wrestler progresses.
Yeah.
And he progressed in my eyes when he had that Universal Open.
The U.S. Challenge or something like that. Yeah.
I saw him do a Canadian Destroyer.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
And
the stunner off the middle rope, that was kind of cool.
So him doing these things, it just makes me think. You know what? He wants to put in the effort. He's trying to be entertaining.
Yeah, he got better.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that. He got better. But do I want to see Taker and Cena? Yeah, I do. I mean, look, no offense and no disrespect. There's another podcast that's out there called the Jobber Tears podcast. He posted something like, "Hey, Undertaker, in my opinion," and this is like a loosely quoted thing. Don't show up, stay humble. I have to disagree with that statement. The Undertaker is not a guy that is about his ego. He's not that wrestler that is like, I'm the Undertaker. What I say goes. He's the guy that's like, he's a company man.
Yeah,
and he always has been. And That's Vince's like best creation.
He's also
really.
a businessman.
Oh yeah, and he's smart enough to know, hey, look, yeah, I could sit home, but
There's a payday out
there's
there.
a payday for me to be there against Cena, and if it's Cena,
That's a big payday.
that's a big payday. That's good money to take care of my family for the twilight of my years, basically.
Well, let me ask you this in wrapping up our headlines here.
Yeah.
Are you excited for WrestleMania? As it stands right now for the matches that we know are going on.
I don't even know what the matches are so far.
So far, what we've gone over, the Rousey and Angle against...
Right.
Obviously, we know it's going to be Reigns and Lesnar.
Yeah.
There are rumors that it's going to be Charlotte against Asuka
Okay.
and Nia Jax against
Alexa?
Alexa.
Okay.
Um,
Nakamura against Styles?
potentially.
Potentially.
See, I think that's going to be the one match.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the match that the purists
Yeah.
know is going to steal the show.
Right.
That it's the one that we know should be the main event,
Yeah.
but it's not going to
Yeah.
be. It's Punk versus Taker.
Right. Exactly.
It's the match that should go on last, but is not.
right.
So, with that being said, are you excited?
Yeah. No, I'm not excited so far. I'm like on the fence right now. I think it when they finally announce Cena versus Taker, I think I'll get excited. If there is no Cena versus Taker, I might not be as excited, but I'm still going to want to watch it. What about you?
I will say, as it stands right now, WrestleMania, the card that is being thrown out there,
Yeah.
is more of like a SummerSlam to me.
Yeah.
The matches are good, not something I would pay and travel to see.
Oh yeah.
You know, they always tout, oh, people are coming from around the world to WrestleMania. Yeah, but if you're not giving them a match, then over time, people are going to stop coming to WrestleMania.
Yeah, but I also think that people like to go to WrestleMania for like the access and the other events that go on as well, because it's a pricey ticket.
Yeah.
And
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
What's happening around WrestleMania, I want to go to.
Oh,
There
yeah.
is
There's
no
like
shortage of shows to go
Evolve,
to. Dude, every company that can
yeah.
be there besides New Japan is probably going to be there.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
I want to go to New Orleans so bad, but I mean, at this time, the ticket prices to anything is going to be outrageous.
Look,
So
I'm not going to pay $30 to go sit in the nosebleed. That's just me. I have to. If it's WrestleMania, it's got to be all in. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Did I just there we go. All right, I think that wraps it up for the headlines. Don't you think so?
I think it wraps it up.
All right.
If you're looking for a unique, clean, and comfortable shop to get your next tattoo, check out the artists at Galavetta's Tattoos. They're located downtown San Antonio at 628 South St. Mary's, just north of Cesar Chavez. Galavetta's is home to some of the best, most experienced tattoo artists in San Antonio, and the only shop in town with 4 female artists on staff. Established in 2005, Galavetta's Tattoos offers a variety of styles and the highest quality tattoos with a price that won't hurt your budget. So stop by for a consultation or give them a call to schedule one. It's easy. 210-227-7673. That's 210-227-7673. Galavetta's Tattoos, San Antonio's favorite tattoo shop.
Hey moviegoers, this is Ryan D, Akinola Ryan 680. This is Alamo City Movie Talk. Meet my crew.
I'm Mike at Polaris Mike. We do movie reviews.
Juan at Cloud X Drive, and we do trailer reactions.
I'm Juan the Cook Crane, and we do everything movie related. And once again, you're listening to One Sweet Wrestling Podcast.
All right, thanks guys from Alamo City Movie Talk. If you are a fan of cinema, movies, anything in that nature, check them out. Those are great guys. Check them out on YouTube on Alamo City Movie Talk. Dude, so I'm checking out that show Altered Carbon on Netflix.
Yes.
Just finished it. It's an acquired taste. Think Demolition Man and what's that other awesome 80s movie? Blade Runner.
Ooh.
Yeah. Blade Runner. Mix those together. That's basically your show.
High praise.
Pretty cool show. One of my favorites. So, yeah. If
Right
you
on, dude.
ever have a chance, check it out, man. It's pretty cool.
So
What's
remember
up?
last week I had a random question for you.
Yes.
I have another one for you this week.
Okay.
Since we've been bashing pretty much
everybody,
not really putting over the WrestleMania card.
I know. Gosh.
Let's talk about something a little bit more fun.
Okay.
Wrestling video games.
Okay.
What is your favorite wrestling video game?
That's very hard for me to answer. I know a lot of people are going to say, what was it? No Mercy is probably their favorite on the N64. I will actually have to go with a WCW game, WCW versus NWO Revenge.
Wow.
That was my
so
favorite.
Strong.
Dude, that was my favorite game. So here's the best part about that game to me was there was a 60-man battle royal.
Oh, yeah.
You could choose between knocking them over the top rope
or pinning them
or wrestling outside the ring.
Yes.
And pinning them. So you basically have like my brother and I would sit there and play for like hours.
Dude, I have a Nintendo 64. We can go to a flea market, buy this game. Oh, one sweet wrestling tournament.
I'm down if you're down. I think we have something going here. I think that's pretty cool. I'm with you on that. We could have some fun with that. Another adventure that we can try to play with, but don't get too excited out there, guys. It could happen, it could not. We have to be able to get our hands on all those consoles and things like that. But how fun would that be, bro? Who was your? Did you play that one?
Oh my god, dude! I played it for hours.
Who did you pick? Who was your wrestler that you would pick?
Who was it? THQ? No, not THQ. AKI Man.
Oh yeah.
Samurai.
Yeah.
Dr. Jekyll. Oh no, there was one guy who they based off of Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and I can't for the life of me think about who it was, but he had a brutal German suplex that would suplex you on your neck.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what his name was.
I don't know. I'm going to look that up.
But, yeah, that game, I put in many hours. Do you remember all the secret characters you could get?
I don't. Dude. Because I remember that you could... Okay, so there's an option on there that you could, like, plug in. Like, let's say, like, you were Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And you can plug in your controller to the second port.
Yes.
And because you would come out with Eric Bischoff, and you could be Eric Bischoff.
Oh yeah,
in the
I remember
background.
that.
See, that I remember, but I don't remember like ever like unlocking people.
Dude,
I don't remember it.
Okay, so you remember NW, the first one before Revenge,
World Tour.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you know that you could be Muhammad Ali?
Really?
Yeah. His name, I believe, was Joe Boxer.
Ah.
And he was an unlockable character. I think what you had to do was beat the entire game, and become like the heavyweight champion.
Okay.
And then he would be the last guy. I remember playing as him and just knocking fools out. Like, he had no grappling moves whatsoever, but he would knock somebody out in like 10 minutes.
It was all like...
It was quick, dude. He would knock you out like Mike Tyson.
That's
it was
funny.
awesome. So you put NWO Revenge?
Yeah, that's the game that I'm gonna say is my favorite.
Okay.
I would be
well, what else you have?
Oh, like favorite games?
No, wrestling games.
Wrestling games?
Yeah.
Oh man, like SmackDown 2. I liked SmackDown 2.
See, I never got into the WWE PlayStation games.
See, SmackDown 2 was fun because at that point it had better. You had a better idea as far as create a character.
Oh yeah.
And so like I remember creating Rob Van Dam because he was like real hot at the time.
Yeah.
Well, when he got to WWE or whatever. And I would create Rob Van Dam. I'd create Seb. I would basically create ECW characters.
Did you ever play the ECW video game?
I never played it.
It's
didn't look. It just didn't look appealing to me. Worst one that I hated was Warzone. I hated Warzone.
Was that on the original PlayStation?
Yeah.
Did it have the Patriot?
I think it had the Patriot. It had Triple H. It had Shawn Michaels, maybe. It had Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Was Stone Cold on the cover?
Yeah.
I had that game, dude.
It was terrible.
It was. Now that I look back on it, it wasn't the greatest game. For some reason, WWF games outside of No Mercy just never did it for me. Like, the controls just were too complicated for me at the time.
Yeah.
I'm sure people are yelling at their screens right now. Are you kidding me? That's the best game ever.
Well, because Warzone was like, you had to go up, down, left, right, BBA, and that would be a DDT.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, like, No, like I'm a button masher kind of guy,
Yeah.
bro. Like you put me on Metal Slug all day, I'm about it.
Yes.
But if you put me on like Tekken or like the new Dragon Ball Z games, I have no idea what's going on. But I'm just gonna figure out what works for me and use it to the best of my ability.
That's awesome.
That's usually how I play.
Dude, mine,
Yeah, what's yours?
there's a game, of course, from Japan called Virtual Pro Wrestling 2.
Okay.
It's the same engine as No Mercy, WCW, World Tour, Revenge, but they have all of the Japanese stars. So everybody from New Japan, All Japan, FMW, some grapplers, like they have a lot of people from this organization called UWF. And for people who don't know what UWF is, it's kind of the precursor to Pancrase, where it was MMA styled fights, but they were predetermined.
Okay.
So you would have somebody like Kazushi Sakuraba fighting Boss Rutan, or
Oh wow.
or Minoru Suzuki wrestling, shoot fighting, but it's already predetermined. But it was a shoot fight type of wrestling.
So they were fighting, like legit fighting? Or?
Yeah, dude. They would have a dude like a Russian sambo player wrestling a guy in a gi.
Oh, that's crazy.
Dude, it was awesome to watch. And
that sounds cool.
yeah, we'll watch them one of these days. It's really fun to watch. But that game to me, especially if you can get the English patch, because I played it on the computer. I never got it for the Nintendo 64 because it was an import, and I don't have that type of money. And but you can get it as a computer game, and you can get like a Game Shark patch essentially.
I remember Game Shark.
Yeah, man.
I remember Game Shark.
Game Genie.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Dude.
So you get this, and you get some people online that know how to make not characters, but their outfits. Dude, and you can play as the Great Muta, you can play as Jushin Liger, you can play as Hayabusa.
That's kind of cool.
It is
That's really cool.
It is one of the best games because not only you remember how in Nintendo 64 wrestling games you would have like two finishers, one in the front, and if you got behind the guy you can do another finisher if you had it.
Yeah.
So in this game there was like three finishers. You could get somebody from the front, do your normal finisher, get somebody from behind and do the normal finisher, and then there was this one for certain characters like Jin Akiyama, or yeah, that was him. He would have a third finisher. And it was only after doing certain times that you would be able to do this finisher. Huh. Dude, it is one of the best games. I could plug it in right now and play it for like 3 hours straight.
Dude.
It's amazing.
All right. So I found the roster.
Hit me with it.
Okay. So they had a bunch of like, I guess what ended up happening was WCW did not have the rights to a lot of Japanese wrestlers.
Yes.
So what they did was they created... they just made up a bunch of weird characters or whatever.
And that's what they did in WCW versus the World.
Yeah.
That game, I want to go back and play because you look at how many people you could play as.
Oh, yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah, it had one of the biggest rosters. And I know that these games did have huge rosters. Like, so they had like, okay, so I'm going to butcher some of these names, but I'm just going to throw some out there. There was a character by the name of Hannibal, which was actually referenced as Hayabusa.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the better guys to play as.
So Dim Sum was another guy.
Yes.
Was Geto.
Oh, Gato.
Yeah.
You know who Gato is?
Gato's the president of New Japan?
You got it. He's the booker.
So there you go. Saladin was Abdullah the Butcher.
Oh, right.
Alibaba was the original Sheik.
Yeah. Dude, you make me want to play this.
Dude, we're going to play this. Because I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, I forgot. Black Ninja. That was a character I would play as.
Remember you could do the 10-hit combos?
Yeah. So he's based off of the Great Suzuki.
No shit.
Yeah. So then you have, let's see. I'm just kind of like finding some. There's a guy named Black Belt who was Taka Michinoku.
Oh, yeah. I remember that guy.
Paco Loco, which is Dick Togo and Terry Boy Men's Tiao. I don't know.
Oh, Men's Teo.
Men's Teo.
part of the BWO in Michinoku Pro, who wrestled in the original. Okay, so you remember Barely Legal from ECW, the first pay-per-view they had?
Yeah.
I want to say they were part of that pay-per-view. They wrestled the BWO.
Oh.
It was Taka Michinoku, Men's Teo, and Dick Togo.
Okay.
They were the guys that would do kind of what the Young Bucks do now and flex on people.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's pretty tight, dude. I'm all smiling.
Yeah, dude. Get into it. I dig this.
So Powder Keg was a character. Guess who that's based off of? Terry Bam Bam Gordy, dude.
He was a badass.
I was like, what? And so like all these, there's a lot of hidden characters.
Dude,
here.
I forgot to tell you, in Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, you can wrestle as Stan Hansen.
Dude,
and the best part about this game
I'm about that.
The best part about this game is they had the original theme music.
Oh, really?
So it was Stan Hansen's theme music. Anybody from Japan, they had the licensing for. So you'd come out as that player.
That's perfect.
And if you had like what they would do is they would show you in the locker room and you would come out, like old 80s and 90s Japan, they would come out in like jackets.
Yeah.
Like it almost looked like wrestler jackets.
Oh, yeah, like the old, like the ones that...
like the Ribera jacket.
Yeah.
They would show up as that.
Oh, that's cool.
Dude, it was... Oh, I want to go home and play.
Dude,
right
we're
now.
gonna have to find like these games and just play them, and maybe we'll put them up on our YouTube page.
Oh, good idea.
I think that'd be fun. Yeah, I'm excited. So, Wrath is a hidden character.
Oh yeah,
Glacier is a hidden character.
He was actually really good in that.
Yeah, Glacier was pretty bad. Then you have these were hidden characters, but they weren't necessarily hidden. DDP. You had to beat him,
to
be able to play as him.
I think Roddy Piper was in there.
Roddy Piper was in there. Macho Man Randy Savage was another one.
Yep.
So yeah, this was pretty stacked. Oh wait, am I looking at the wrong one?
No.
No, this is actually World Tour. Wait, am I looking at the wrong one?
They added a lot of people from World Tour to
Yeah,
Revenge.
They did.
Honorable mention as a wrestling game.
Yeah.
Saturday Night Slam Masters.
Dude. Yes.
I first played that game on Super Nintendo and went to Las Vegas. Went to the Luxor Hotel and Casino. Went to, at the time when casinos had a video game place for kids to go to, they had Saturday Night Slam Masters in their arcade.
That's tight.
It was amazing.
That's awesome.
So they came out with a sequel.
Okay.
But I think it only came out in Japan. I've seen some. I think it was called Muscle Buster.
I think we're gonna have to look for these things.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool.
To me, it's funny. Like as you get older, like when you grow up, like you find all these things that were awesome when you were a kid, and now you're an adult. It's kind of like I could buy that.
Yeah.
Like when you were a kid, you're like, man, I want to buy this. I have to ask my parents. But now you're like,
I got a job.
I have a job.
I could do this.
I could do this. My income tax came in, so I might just do that. I don't know.
Oh, buddy.
I got that income tax swag. No, I don't know. But yeah, man, we definitely have to try to figure this out and see if we can play some games.
Bussies, man.
Dude. I think we have a field trip coming up. So if you see us out there at Bussies or any flea market, say what's up. Hang out with us. Yeah, give us a discount. Definitely give us a discount. We'll put you over. Put your business over.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you want us to shout you out, let us know.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of shout outs, I actually did want to shout out somebody for the show. And I shame on me for not having it prepared, but I'm going to go ahead and just give a quick shout out real quick. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, call Natasha Leach with Becker Properties. Give her a call at 210-712-4223. Let her know One Sweet Wrestling Podcast sent her your way. She's a pretty cool person. She actually was really nice enough to put us on her Instagram story. So be sure to check her out on Instagram, Natasha Leach. She's a realtor. You can check out all the homes that she puts up on lease and whatnot. So that's always good.
Yeah, man. And I also want to give a shout out to our friend from To Be The Man Comics. They just made some shirts.
Awesome.
Check out their Instagram at To Be The Man Comic. That's all one word. To Be The Man Comic. Great guys. Fans and supporters of the show. We're fans and supporters of their comic.
Yeah, definitely. Pick you up a copy of their first issue, which is out now, of Chapter 1. Chapter 2 is on its way. They've already got some sweet shirts that we were looking at earlier, and man, I totally want to get me the Frank Hazard shirt. I think it just like screams Bethel right now.
Yeah, I could see that.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Just all 80s out.
Yeah, they got some really sweet looking shirts.
Yeah, man.
I'm actually looking at them right now.
Yeah.
They're pretty awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Great group of guys. Be sure to support that. We'll be right back right after this.
Legend says there is a place in San Antonio where there are battles of the mind and trivia, loteria, and celebrations where we drink and dance to live music. El Luchador, located at 622 Roosevelt in Southtown San Antonio.
This is Jared Davis, author of To Be the Man comic, and you're listening to One Sweet Wrestling Podcast.
Thank you, Jared from To Be the Man Comics. Be sure to support To Be the Man Comics. Check them out on social media. They're on our friends page on Instagram. Be sure to check that out for sure. We have a very special announcement. April 5th, Wrestle Trivia. Come on out. Test your knowledge. Test your mental strength, if you will. I have an allergy attack going on right now, but I'm still going to school you guys when it comes to wrestling trivia. Just saying. And if I can't, my boy Alex is going to take it over.
Yeah, guys. If you showed up to the last Wrestle Trivia, and again, I'm going to keep saying this till we're blue in the face, and you thought it was too easy, this time is going to be no walk in the park. We're going to test your knowledge about more than WWE, more than WCW. We're going to span everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So you start right now. You start studying. You start studying everything you can because you don't know what we're going to hit you with.
That's right.
Might even be a steel chair if you get too smart with us.
Ooh, I might just jump on the top of a ladder and come raining down like Jeff Hardy. Probably not, because I weigh way too much and I might destroy you.
Dude, if Keith Lee can do it, you can do it.
Dude, I'm doing it. Let's do it. This is what's happening. April 5th at a Luchador, 622 Roosevelt Street. Wrestle Trivia is happening. It's going down. We've got awesome prizes from our great vendors, from Calaveras Tattoos to Alamo City Movie Talk. We got the goods. You just got to come work for it. That's all I got to say. And I don't think there's anything left to say, but
we out.